Hi, this is Samir for thinkdigit.com and today we have with us the Lava E-Tab. This is a very budget tablet. It costs about 5,500 rupees and boasts of some impressive specifications for that price point. Is it a dream budget tablet or are you better off avoiding it? Well, for starters, let's take a look at the design and build. For the same price point, the previous tablet that we saw was the Zen Ultratab A100. Like the Zen, the Lava tablet also has a 7-inch display, which is what we found on the most standard budget tablets today. In terms of its build, it has the standard 7-inch build that we find on all the tablets. It has quite a plasticky back which has a matte finish, which is really nice, so it's not going to attract a lot of dust or fingerprints. On the side, however, out here it has sort of a textured finish which adds to the grip of the device. So it's really nice and comfortable to hold in landscape mode. The front has a camera and it compromises on a rear facing camera that isn't really missed. As you can see on the face of the device, there are no buttons since Ice Cream Sandwich as the operating system allows you to control all the functions from the touchscreen itself. You have the back, home, multitasking and a volume controls out here. It gives the device a clean face. On the left here is the speaker grill. You have just one speaker on the device giving it mono output. The only physical buttons present are on the top here. You have two rockers. One is the volume rocker and the other houses two buttons, which is the home button and the on off sleep wake switch. For the connectivity options, you have the DC in for charging, the micro USB for data transfer, micro SD card slot and the headphones jack. There is no HDMI out or any other ports available, and you really can't expect that from a 5,500 rupee tablet. And what is here is quite good and acceptable. In terms of its specifications, the tablet has a 1.2 GHz single core processor and 512 MB of RAM. This means that most of the apps will run pretty smoothly on the device and you can expect to get quite a decent amount of multitasking from the device. The storage capacity inbuilt is 4 GB, which is again standard and can be expandable up to 32 GB via the micro SD card. In terms of the preloaded apps, the device comes with a few of them such as the File Manager, Fusion, Chess as a game, Bubble Blaster, Minesweep, Memory Game, Pizza Ninja, which is another version of Fruit Ninja, and a few more news apps. It's nice to see these apps making an appearance straight out of the box, but it's nothing spectacular since you could anyway download these from the Google Play Store. On paper and in real-world performance, the Lava E-Tab performed way better than the Zen Ultratab A100. It was generally a lot more smoother, apps ran better, the touchscreen response is a lot better, it lagged and hung a bit less, and it was generally overall a smoother feel in our hands. It of course suffers from all the standard problems we face with a lot of budget tablets. The browser isn't the best to browse the internet on, it's quite laggy. The keyboard is stock Android, but its response varies depending on how well you use the tablet. The touchscreen response of the display can be a little questionable because it's very responsive at times and at other times it was just not responding to what we were doing. In terms of its viewing angles with text and web browsing, it was a little bad and you really need to hold the device at a particular angle to get a good shot or a good visual of what you're actually looking at. But in terms of video, surprisingly the viewing angles were a little bit better. Not the best though, but still quite alright. So since the device runs on the latest version of Ice Cream Sandwich, which is 4.0.4, there's a very nice feature from the lock screen. So as you can see here in the multitasking menu, we have quite a few apps open, which we've opened and kept. And from the lock screen directly as well, you have access to most of these apps. So as you can see, you have access to the browser, the home screen, unlocking the device, the Play Store, camera, game and settings. Now we have all these apps open and running in the background. So you can have a shortcut to them directly from the lock screen, which is nice considering if you're doing important work and then you want to get back to it immediately, you can directly reach there from the lock screen. It's a good feature on the device. The resolution of the device is 480 by 800 and the app icons are really nice and large and there, so they're easy to reach and click, making them easy to access, which gives the touchscreen a good feel. You have access to the Google Play Store that gives you the ability to download all the apps available, and most of the apps ran really smoothly. Now, one flaw that we did face was that the device was a bit laggy, especially with a pre-installed games. So as you can see, since this is one of the games that came pre-installed, its performance isn't very smooth. It is very laggy. You can see how slow the icons are moving all over the screen. Even though this is a replication of Fruit Ninja, which is a very smooth game, this looks like a very bad frame rate for the game, and it's just very laggy in its overall performance. The touchscreen responds quite well, but the game's performance isn't really very smooth. The performance of apps is kind of a mixed bag. Some of the apps ran very smoothly and nice. Some of the apps took their own sweet time to load and ran smoothly. Some of them lagged a bit, but the point is that most of them were playable and worked on the device. So you have access to all the apps, and you can expect just a few hiccups here and there. So as you can see, if you have too many apps running in the background, the device is bound to hang, considering it's just got about 512 MB of RAM and it can only handle multitasking to a certain extent. As of right now, the device is a little hung. So on our continuous video playback test, the 2800 mAh battery that is powering this device lasted for close to 5 hours, which is really good. So with average use of probably watching videos, browsing the internet, social networking, playing a few videos and apps, the device should give you approximately 6 hours of battery life, which, considering the size and the power under the hood of this device, it is quite nice. To conclude, we would like to say that for a tablet that costs under 6,000 rupees, the Lava eTab performs well. It beats the Zen Ultratab A100 hands down in terms of its overall performance, and you get what you pay for: a budget tablet that has the ability to run the apps, a screen which is decent in its performance but the viewing angles aren't the best, and it would be a decent experience as your first tablet.